Oh my God. Well, let's just go ahead and just pause it. Hello. Welcome everyone. Man, talk about delays on delays, right? Delays of creation. Excuse me. Ashes of creation has yet delayed again with the October live stream. I mean, might as well just call this November live stream because, I mean, we have Thanksgiving, of course, in the month of November. And I don't really think they're going to give us a November live stream when we're already getting a technical October live stream in November midway through the month. So, it is what it is, guys. I don't know. But what's crazy to me, I saw Nice was talking earlier in the Discord, and he said he was going to go live tomorrow because he was super excited and super hyped for the live stream. Me personally, I'm not really on pins and needles about this live stream, nor are my expectations high at all. I think I've just been almost at a mellow pace with Ashes currently. I feel like there's something big brewing, of course. And let me see. You thought Richie had issues doing update videos because of the short update sizes, but it was actually having. Oh, dude, that's good. A soldier. I like that. I like that. So they put out a whole, like, for those of you guys that don't know, this is kind of breaking news, right? So for people that don't live in the Ashes Discord, we have some news break. And so November testing schedule and live stream update, right? So this is, of course, today, November 6th. Really cool photo, by the way. Glorious Adventures, we have some updates to share. Our next development update live stream will now air on November 14th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are still preparing a special announcement, and just like a fine Varan stew, it needs a little more time to cook before we serve it to you fresh. So that pretty much tells me, because I didn't say this in the Discord, but people were like, oh, Friday they're going to launch the 0.17 update. I'm like, I honestly was expecting the 0.17 to maybe be released next week. And sure enough, it's going to be next week. And, again, we might get another delay. I mean, something else could happen. And the reason why I think it's kind of crazy is 0.17 isn't even the Harbinger's update. 0.17 is like kind of like an amalgamation of like economy updates, the big static node rarity change that now is going to be predicated off of rarity stat, which that's pretty huge. There's a lot of fixes to like benches and stuff like that. Some slight tweaks to archetypes and stuff, but it looks like we're finally next week going to be testing the Harbingers. And I don't think anybody in chat is saying this, but there's so many people in the Discord. I don't know if it's cope or hope or delusion. I have no idea. But people are like, well, so wait a minute, guys, are y'all still on course for November 18th for Harbingers? and again, I'm not laughing because I think I'm just more thinking like, how could people still cling onto that date when we literally haven't even tested that update? I think, again, and this is why I think it's very hard for people to be really excited about a game in development like Ashes, because there's so much that could potentially happen. And for me, like, I don't look at this and get upset. I don't. Like, I'm not upset over this literally at all, because I had no expectation. I had nothing excited me or like, oh my God. The one thing I wanted, which is a static node rarity, be gone. It's gone. Like, it's going to happen. The patch will come out and that will be a thing of the past. Thank God. So I have like bigger fish to fry in my head. But let's go ahead and keep going for the people that may have not have seen this. So as we continue refining our Harbinger update, we'll love to test Alpha 2 testers, help putting the newest systems and content improvements through their paces. To support this on November 10th, this is some critical information. I want to be clear on this because I don't think this was very clear. On November 10th, 2025, which November 10th is literally on Monday, which we never get PTR testing on Mondays. They're taking down both Lotharia and Shol realms. So just to kind of expand on this, because I literally read this already, Margaret made it clear that they're not permanently taking down those servers. They are only temporarily taking them down so people can be compelled to go inside the PTR to help test the Harbinger's Point 18 update. That's basically the main reason. I also think the other main reason too is probably some, back end stuff. Cause I know from people that are still currently playing Ashes, there's a lot of performance issues. There's a lot of like stuttering going on in game. There's server workers that aren't performing correctly. So I think they're kind of doing a twofold a little bit. To be quite honest, I think this is a good thing. Like, I understand people are still excited to play the game or whatever, and bummer, whatever it is. But sometimes you just need to compel people to literally force them to step away, take a break, get some fresh air, cleanse your body, whatever, cleanse your mind, do some meditation, go play another game for a little bit, just chill. Let me see what happened to all the Ashes of Creation content creators like Narc, Jimmy Chaos Warrior, and the old guard that used to do old Ashes content. Everyone seems to be dropping off like flies. So Jamie Chaos is playing World of Warcraft. He's making World of Warcraft content. I think he hasn't left. I just think there's just to some people, they just don't feel like there's just a need to create Ashes content. And again, that's not a bad thing. Like Warrior right now, I need all of y'all to go into Warrior's channel, leave comments, and force him to come back. That's what you need to do. You guys literally need to add him on Twitter. You do whatever it is you can to basically say, hey, make content, talk about things. Richie, I think, he left a video basically saying goodbye to Ashes, but I mean, really, I don't think he's gone either. I think, again, you have to understand from our perspective, like a content creator's perspective that's been following this game. Like, I've been following this game since 2020. Richie's been following this game since literally 2018. We're kind of tired. We were making content. I was making content from Ashes of Creation since 2021 all the way to now. And this game barely was playable late last year. So it's a lot to speculate. It's a lot to pull content out of nothing and make a video and make it compelling for you guys. It's really hard. And I think, some people got so into the juice that they're just like, I gotta just, sorry, my wife and they're texting my wife and my sisters and stuff, baby stuff. Anyway, so I don't think once Ashes is rolling again, once we have actual content again, you'll see people come back. You'll see Jamie, you'll see Jamie making content. Nice is still making content. Nice has been making content a little bit after I started making content. He started it, I think, late 2021, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, again, but this journey isn't for everybody. It's just not. There's many times I've had my ups and downs too. I mean, it's I've had my super hype moments. I've had my super low moments of being very critical and negative towards Ashes. I mean, it's just human, I've never followed a project like this. It's tough. It really, really is tough. Make Ashes content long enough and you become the content. Dude, you are so right, Quinn. Very, very right. Yes, Wagsy, completely agree. I'm playing NMS. I have no idea what NMS is. But hey, good to see you, Space Coconut. Good to see you, man. I would love to talk to you on the 1v1 Coconut, if you're ever down. I saw you were on the Golden Feather, and if you ever wanted to chat one-on-one, I'm down. Hate to be the doomer, but I don't think there will be any hype again for Ashes. Oh, No Man's Sky. Thank you, Surgeon. There will. There 100% will. Dude, if literally Blizzard can come from sexual allegation and the pit of despair that was 2021, and now people are all excited for Blizzard again. Dude, like I said, and Asmund said this so many times, all it takes is 1 3-minute cinematic to win over your audience. That's it. And I think, honestly, for the most part, people have stopped playing Ashes because, again, this is not a game yet. And the people that are playing this test like a game, well, their expectations are right where they need to be for them to be satisfied with it. I think a lot of the people that are not playing anymore is because their expectations were higher than what the deliverable test is giving them. That's it. It's just, and even for me, I have very solid expectation for Ashes, but I've even pulled back. Like, I'm very much on cruise control currently with the live server. Like, I'm not really as compelled, mainly because of the static rarity. That to me is I need that to be gone. Like, once we have that removed, once 0.17 releases, I will be playing way more of Ashes of Creation. That's the one thing that just really ticks me off, is the static rarity thing. No Man's Sky is legit fun since the updates. Well, that's the other thing. Wasn't No Man's Sky at a point very early in its release of people shitting on the game, people talking mad crap, the community dissipated into nothingness? And what did the developers do? They took all that feedback. They said, why are people hating our game? What is it that the game is lacking? Okay, let's make it. Let's keep doing it. And the devs kept working. The devs didn't get discouraged by it. They got motivated by it. So I understand, the whole pitchfork gamer moments that we kind of have, but let's just be honest. And this is why I truly love Intrepid. Like, I've had one-on-one conversations with some of the devs. I've talked to Steven one-on-one. I have faith in this project, which is what compels me to get on this live stream currently and talk about this game. Because I do have faith in it, and I do believe that this game has the potential to truly succeed in the MMO genre. I do. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to have some pitfalls and some hiccups along the way. There's going to be ebbs and flows that every project goes through. I think a great example also is Baldur's Gate 3. For people that didn't follow its early access for the first 3 years in Steam, go look at the early reviews of Baldur's Gate 3. It was mixed to negative. Is that any reflection on the actual final product? No. Because they only had access for the whole 3 years, a chapter, a single chapter. So I think people like to doom Ashes because it's the cool thing. It's the fun thing. It's the thing to do, to, shit on Ashes or say, oh, this game is just so done. There's just so many issues and problems. Bro, do you know how many closed developments have insane issues behind the scenes that you probably never ever hear about? It happens all the time. Like, again, for someone who didn't have game dev friends, and now I do, I heard stories of other projects and other games that went through major hiccups. So it's like anything else. Scamfall, Quinfall. Well, that's the thing too, right? You have like Quinfall, you have PAX Day, you have Chrono Odyssey that's coming out, you have Aeon 2. And again, I don't have faith in Korean MMOs. I really don't care for Korean MMOs. I've never cared about them, to be honest. I think the only one that I honestly gave a real shot to was Lost Ark. And I freaking love Lost Ark. But as soon as I hit the end game, I quit immediately. Because as soon as I knew what it took to increase my item level, I just said, you know what? I'm not going to further invest in this game any longer. And I didn't. I literally quit. Even though I had such a blast with the Shadow, what was it? The Shadow Dancer? Or it was like the one where it was like a rogue Shadow Hunter. maybe. I think it was a shadow hunter. Anyway, I played that class and it was a lot of fun. The dungeons were a lot of fun. The story was actually really cool, really awesome cinematics. Shadowblade, thank you, Bodo. But yeah, like I've known what I've got myself into with this particular project with Ashes. And I think some people honestly don't know what they're getting themselves into. And I think because, you know, with the closing of New World, there's also, even besides that whole debacle, there's just other players that have been playing a particular MMO for so long. They're just hungry for something different, something brand new. Because if you're an MMO player, what are your options? Well, you have World of Warcraft, you have Final Fantasy 14, you have Guild Wars 2, you have SWTOR, you have Final Fantasy 14. And that's kind of it. And then you start going into these more nicher MMOs like Mortal Online 2. You have Albion. You have like Quinfall. You have Pax Day. But I think people are just really wanting just an MMO to really succeed. And when it comes to these delays, which honestly, let me just get back to this. Let me finish this because it's not that much more information. So they're going to take down Alpha 2, Lotharia, and Shol temporarily. They're going to bring up the private test realms with daily updates on focus PlayStation, which is really good. Basically, they want major feedback on this when they're charging to their next push, which, funny enough, like they kind of are. I'm guessing they're mostly talking about the Harbinger update, which is the 0.18, but really fail to mention the 0.17. It's almost like the 0.17 is probably going to be released probably next Friday. And the 0.18 is probably going to be at some later date, because the 0.17, we only got like what, a couple of days worth of testing on the 0.17. And that was it. Like, which is kind of odd because we don't really have a lot of testing on the PTR regarding the 0.17, which is actually the static node rarity. And they have yet to bring that back. And it seems like we did a little bit of testing there. And then now this coming week, we're testing 0.18. I was like, okay, well, if we're not testing the current, if we're not testing the upcoming patch anymore, why don't we have it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if everything's good, why isn't it in our hands yet? So something either must still be worked on or something, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And this particular thing does not really tell you. So the PTR, of course, they just kind of give you a reminder that it's still under visualization. You can talk about it, but you can't tell, or you can't give any kind of a visual screenshot of the PTR update. But they did say what they will be testing. And again, this doesn't really clarify. And I hope they're not lumping 0.17 and 0.18 as a whole package, because it's really not. But they did say that in this 0.18, they didn't say that, but what they will be testing this current Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday probably is the Harbingers event update, Renkai. Thank God. Dude, now I am praying for a fresh start server because I want to play a Renkai Ranger right now. Or not right now, but like whenever that happens, I want to play a Renkai like now. Sport fishing, mules and mounts, which I was kind of like, we have mounts, but is there a change to mounts? Are they adding? Because I remember, you know, there's going to be a whole mount system of like mounts leveling. You're going to have like a mount talent tree. I seriously doubt that's exactly what they're doing, but I mean, I don't know why they put mules and mounts. They could just put mules. Anyway, archetype updates and balance passes, which I find to be really, really, really interesting. I think more the balance passes is more summoner, because summoner was pretty busted. Let's just say that, to say the least. It was pretty busted. But so was rogue at first too, and they slowly nerfed that over time. Artisanship improvements, settlements, lawless events, crates, wars and sieges, world bosses, dynamic gridding, bug fixes, including quest economy, artisanship, UI, and combat improvements. And then they mention exploit and dupe hunting days with rewards for testers who are first to provide reproducible reports. And more surprises along the way. So basically, they just thank everybody at the very end. and say, you know, well, thank you. And true, they did not mention the summoner. We tested summoner for, like I said, about a week. But let me just be honest, guys. Like I never thought that the Harbingers update day one was ever going to bring the summoner. The summoner, you have to understand, guys, it being a pet class, pet classes are notorious for, as someone who played a BM hunter or just a hunter in WoW from like vanilla WoW till Warlords of Draenor, there were issues even in Cataclysm with hunter pets. And by Cataclysm, we were already in the live launch of World of Warcraft for like, what was it, 6 years at that point, and we were still having pet issues. So yeah, Summoner, I don't think is going to come out this year. I'm just going to say it. If you were expecting Summoner, sorry. And I know one of my boys in chat, Levio Jima. Levio Jima is a Summoner through and through. He's been waiting for Summoner his entire time playing Ashes Creation and being in this community. And I'm sorry, brother, but it's probably not going to be released this year. I'm just trying to set expectations, because my whole thing is that I see people's expectations or what people are hoping from like the Ashes Discord. And I think to myself, wow, that's some dangerous copium right there. And again, you know, go see Burns. He's our resident doctor. If you need a cleansing, go please visit his channel and get recalibrated. Juror OG, dude, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the live stream so far. But yeah, so guys, yet another October live stream delay. So if we're kind of looking at this, we're going to get basically almost in the middle of the month, right? The 14th, we're going to have, when is Thanksgiving? Is Thanksgiving on the 20th or the 27th? Because Black Friday would be either the 21st or the 28th. My calendar doesn't tell me here, but I don't think we're going to have an actual November live stream. I think what's going to end up happening, I'm going to call it right now, we're going to get this live stream eventually, if it's not yet delayed, potentially to the 21st. And they'll probably call that the November live stream instead of the October one. And instead of having a December live stream, we might just have what's called like an end of the year update. So basically, December will basically have kind of like a beach episode. If you're an anime fan, you kind of know what I'm talking about. We'll have just like a recap of the entire year of what's been accomplished for Alpha 2. You see, if we get a New World like Portal events with Harbingers, I'd be happy. I think it's kind of exactly what we're going to get. I don't know. I didn't play New World. I don't know if portals were instanced, but I don't think we're going to get any instancing. I think these portals are going to kind of open in the open world, and certain areas, like probably an area in Jova or an area in Nuela or Winstead, is going to get corrupted, and we have to go over there. There'll be certain things to do, certain mobs to kill, certain gatherables to get. But also too, the way they describe the Harbingers event sounds like a kind of like a 3-part system potentially. We're not getting all 3 parts, guys. Like, again, let's just set expectations up. I think at first we might have literally just like the first part, like the portals, the mobs. We'll be able to see some mobs. I don't think we're going to get any kind of a world, like a Harbinger's world boss. That's probably going to be like the culmination or the finishing potentially of the event. So we might not test that. I mean, we might test that, but I don't think that that's what's actually going to be delivered once the Harbinger's update is available. I think it's only going to be just that first initial part of the update. But it's gonna be interesting because it's like, I don't know if they're calling this like a story arc, like the Harbinger story arc, or if it's a Harbinger's of, because they keep calling it an event, but isn't it not a story arc? Like, isn't it not something predicated off of the world thing? Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of want clarification on that as well. I'm not going crazy about the summoner for Harbingers since they don't even have the augment system in place, like having classes to go to 25 to 50. That's what I mean, right? Like, we still don't even have like the secondary classes or even just like part way. And if you watched Burns' latest video in his interview with Steven, he talked about like the tank and cleric and potentially only having like maybe 1 or 2 schools of the augments of those secondary classes available, right? So, and again, I don't even think we're going to get secondary augments until maybe January of next year. And that's being gracious. Like, that's being optimistic that we have do you remember, golly, when was that? July's live stream when Steven actually previewed, we saw like a preview of like the updated talent tree with the ranks. We still don't even have that. And I don't think we're going to get that until probably next year. Like, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm also not expecting it this year at all either. If we get it, awesome. But I'm not expecting it to be, I'm not. Let me see. I think at this point they need to do away with augments and just build solid classes. Well, brother, I've been saying the one thing I wanted Intrepid to do, because I've never been on board with the 64 class system. If you go back to my old videos, old 1v1s, I have never really talked positively about the 64 class system. That to me was the one thing, the one weak link in Ashes of Creation's system design, because I just don't think it's going to be as amazing as the way I initially built it up in my head. And the more information I kept getting about the system, the more disappointed and the more basic that system was going to end up becoming. And so now I'm just sort of like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not excited for the 64 class system. Like, it's just going to be an is what it is kind of system. But I think, again, building the base classes, again, because every base class will end up having 30 to 40 abilities to choose, right? And then you're going to be able to augment certain abilities off of your base class with the secondary archetype, right? So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe a giant developer could do it like Riot, but I don't think even they would have such. Yeah, there's no reason, in my opinion, to place such a huge system like that for a class design, because it's so monumental, and there's no reasoning to do it either, other than just like the person wanting it for the sake of wanting it. I would rather have, again, because I'm coming from World of Warcraft, I'm thinking, why not just have something like that? Have a base class, you have 3 different specs to choose, and just do that. Like, or even just 2. My whole thing is that what I don't like about this class design is I want more classes in the future. This 64 class system doesn't invite well to new classes. Then we're going to go from 64 to 81. Then we're going to go from 81 to like what, 126? Like, it gets so exponentially wacky that I don't think that it's worth doing. Like, I think honestly, like, once we actually get the augments and once people actually have them, and people I think are going to be greatly disappointed with how generic feeling it's going to be for certain players. Certain players might really enjoy it. But again, coming from WoW's class design and their new talent tree of like the base tree and the spec tree, I love that design. I do. I think it's amazing. But again, you know, and I've talked to the devs about this. I think if anything, they should actually steal Last Epoch's talent tree design. If I was at Intrepid, I would push that talent tree to hell and back, because I think that's an actual like really unique way to do talents, and it's so clean. Because instead of having this kind of talent tree that we currently have in our game with like passives, and you can choose between a passive or like another ability or whatever, you basically just have all your abilities, and when you click on an ability, you have like a talent tree that comes up for just that ability, and you can sync in points of that, of how many other points that you want. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, if we only have 50 levels, then you would have to choose, like, maybe I only want 7 points for this ability, 8 points for this other ability, 3 points for this ability. I don't need any points for this one. I just need to have the ability, but no points added. Like, it creates these really original, like setups, right? As a player. And I just think with our current talent tree, it's going to get so big because we're going to have 30 to 40 abilities plus some passives, but I think they're probably not going to give us as many passives. And I hope that's not the case. I hope they actually do give us a little bit more, but it's like we're already getting augments. So we're going to have passives along with augments. And it just adds like this other, again, just complexity for the developer. And the more complexity you have, the harder it is to balance for your classes, and the more generic you have to actually give those passives. So if you think of like a really cool passive in your head, well, you can't really do that because it's going to throw everything out of whack. And I don't know if that's really going to work out. I don't know. Talk about Bad News Bears, starting November 10th. We'll be launching daily Harbinger PTR tests and take down Lotharia and Shol rooms. Yeah, I mean, Tango, it kind of is what it is, man. Like, I think when it comes to, alpha testing, stuff like this is going to happen. Again, I just kind of wish they would have told us sooner, or just tell us like what's been going on. Like, I don't understand right now this level of secrecy that's happening. Like, oh, we'll just tell you guys on this date, but before that date, we're not going to tell you anything. But why? You've told us in the past why certain updates or certain things were happening, like on y'all's end, like on the developer side, like hiccups, or, oh, like it's this thing that we're wanting to do, or we're working on this thing. It's just nothing. And it feels like it's just out of nowhere. I'm not going to say it's spitefully done, but it just feels like weird. Like, why can't you just tell us what's going on? Like, tell us like, oh, we're just wanting to do a combination of a couple of things. We're wanting to like fix our server performance in our current live servers. We're having some hiccups in our 0.17 patch. Or maybe, like, again, what if they're trying to merge 0.17 and 0.18 together? Oh, well, that makes sense now. Like, I get that. Like, let's just do it all like as one. That makes sense to me. And that's all you need to say. Literally, that's all you need to say. And then you can further go down that explanation in the live stream. But for the people that have been following, the people that have been here for years, you literally can't tell us like what's going on. If we're touting that this is like open development, that doesn't seem very open to me. Like, and again, you don't have to tell us the big announcement. I don't even care what the big announcement is. Just tell me what's going on with these patches. Like, that's it. Margaret is general chat firing backend is in damage control mode. Looks like a fresh start, aka wipe, is coming. That's what they've been saying. Intrepid has said many times that a wipe isn't going to happen. And I incline to believe them. I really don't think we're at a point to wipe. And as much as I've advocated for a wipe, they still need to make more changes for a wipe to be necessary. Like, even with static rarity, which is a huge thing, in my opinion, it's huge. It's super huge. Does feel like a merge of 17 and 18. It could possibly. They have not announced that. I am just literally speculating. But I just don't understand why one, no PTR testing has been available for 0.17. What's going on with 0.17? What's going on with this current live stream? And I know most people are actually trying to figure out what this big announcement is, but I could literally care less. I want to know what's going on with this update. We only tested it for like a small amount of time, and we have yet to test it again, and given no explanation as to why that is the case. And I don't think it's a big ask. I don't. And I feel like Intrepid is combining, well, what's going on the PTR or what's going on with these patches with this big announcement. It's like, don't mix that in. I don't care about the big announcement. Don't even tell me. Don't even allude to what that announcement is. Just tell me what's going on with these updates. And again, like, it could be something so simple as like, hey, we want to merge both patches together. Oh, okay. And now I'm good. Now I don't have to like, it just, I don't know, like ever since phase 3 launched, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the level of communication or just the back and forth between us, the testers, and Intrepid has been at an all-time low, literal all-time low. And I don't know why. It's just kind of mind-boggling. And this is someone who's been in the community for a long time. I just don't get it. It's what they have to come clean with their budget for AOC and their development timeline. They are announcing the switch to Unity engine. Bro. If they switch to Unity, like, which I would say there's literally a 0.000000001% chance that even happens, the game's dead. It's, you can't convert an Unreal Engine 5 project to Unity. They would literally have to start all over. Like, there's just no way. I think we broke them with the Polar drama. Oh my God, is there still Polar drama? I think the only thing with Polar is that they're wanting a wipe. And again, I don't think it's, if you want to wipe, like, I don't think it's a bad thing that an individual is, hey, like, we should probably wipe. I don't think wiping is a bad thing, but I just don't think there's a point to it. I don't mind wiping when it's necessary to wipe. But wiping just because, oh, these people duped, or this, you know, the economy is crap. It's like, well, we need to make changes to the economy, because if we just wipe it, the economy is going to go right to being crap because all of the original designs are still in place. We got to make adjustments to the economy. We got to, oh, okay, let's reduce processing fees. Let's reduce the amount of materials for crafts. Let's, you know, let's make vendor reagents not as expensive initially, right? Like, they got to make changes so we can actually, in that wipe, test the new changes. To me, static rarity isn't enough of a reason for a wipe to be initiated. I think it's been low because they don't have anything to say. I don't know what that was. They don't have anything to blank. Realize how much work they have to do. They are lunkering down and working on content like the Harbinger update. From their live stream, it sounded like they were literally building it still. Well, for sure. But wouldn't you agree that we actually had more communication, and probably better communication, at the first and second week of the launch of Alpha 2? You don't think they were in crunch then, lunkering down, working on deliverables? They were still doing that then. What's changed? In my opinion, nothing. So why is it that they could communicate then effectively, but they can't communicate now effectively? Like, that to me is like the big thing in my mind. Some are making the argument that Polar is asking for the, you said wife. I'm guessing you meant wipe. Asking for the wipe because they have the manpower and tactics to max before everyone else and dominate more than they did. Thoughts? I mean, any sweaty guild is going to be able to min-max and do the loops all over again, right? I kind of don't care if a guild can do it as quickly as possible and then have an advantage, bro, you have an advantage in an alpha. Whoop-de-doo. Like it doesn't move me or I mean, it isn't, I don't care. And if you come from another guild that's like, you know, maybe not as sweaty or whatever, you probably shouldn't care either. Right now, the PvP is kind of non-existent anyway. So what does it matter if a person or if a guild's going to get geared out? All of the people that got super geared out all quit. They literally quit like 2 weeks in the phase 3. So what's the big deal? They just want to literally play to get geared to then quit. Okay, cool. Like it's just not a big deal to me. The leveling journey is important for me, and so far I'm not in a comfortable place with the leveling in AOC. Forcing us to group grind mobs the only way to speed leveling is wrong. I don't think it's wrong. It's a way to level, but I think there should be multiple ways to level in Ashes of Creation. If you're a gatherer and a processor, you can actually earn a shit ton of adventuring experience by processing. You have the gold for it, but you can definitely level that way as well. I love how as a gatherer, a lot of people actually reported leveling pretty nicely as a gatherer and a processor. I did that myself, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And again, I could say, because I'm not a fan of quests. I've never been a fan of quests personally. I think they're a necessary thing in an MMO, but I've never been a fan of them. I hated questing in World of Warcraft when I played it back in 2005. Hated it. And I thought then it was a bad decision to do that. Even though it's a solo thing, you can just do it on your own time. I just felt like, oh, I have to go get wolf ears. I gotta get 16 wolf ears, and I killed like 150 of them, and I only got 4. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? But I mean, and again, I want there to be more quests and ashes. Of course, like I've come a long way doing that. What about quests and XP? I think again, and I've said this to them, I've given them this feedback. One-time quests should reward better XP and better glint. It's a one-time only quest. You can't repeat it. It's like if you're leveling a character, like there's a certain chain quest where you have to go. I don't know if you've been in Jova, but there's like a monument with like these stones. And it's a long chain quest. Like you have to go in Jova, when you go over the bridge, there's like a quest item you need underneath that. And it starts like this whole chain quest. You know how much experience you get for completing the entire chain quest? It's a lot of work to do this, so much back and forth. You literally get 21,000 experience. What? With all of the running back and forth that I have to do to complete this chain, I could have literally been at Civilian in a single spot for the amount of time and actually get more XP within the first probably 5 minutes than I would have doing that one chain quest. It's dumb. And again, you can't repeat that quest. It's a one-time only quest. I don't understand why you get such pitiful experience for doing such a long chain quest. Like, again, I know Ashes wants you to be a group focused game. And I love that. I think we haven't had an MMO like incentivize grouping up with your buddies. We haven't. And I've been asking for one personally, but I understand that there's people that sometimes just don't have the time to literally like, if you're like, and this is the same problem, like if you're a vanilla WoW player or like a classic WoW player, if you're a dad, bedtime's at 7 p.m. for your kids, you got maybe 2 hours. And if you're just going to be spamming chat for like looking, you know, for a ZF group and no one, and you got like one person, you got another DPS and you're still looking for a healer and a tank and another DPS. And you're just like, fuck, okay, well, that's not going to happen. So let me try to do something else in the, you know, maybe half an hour to another hour that I have left to play. Like, you just want to play the game. You know what I mean? And I think there should be ways for you to, multiple ways for you to level in Ashes of Creation. Graven, thank you so much for the sub again, brother. Thank you for being a real dedicated person here at the stream, man. I really appreciate that support, man. I really do. Problem is you can't share quests and group up to complete quests. No, I know. There's so much, but it's alpha. We're still really early. And, you know, in my head, we still have years before launch. And as much as Phantom likes to say we are going to be in a beta end of next year, I really hope that's not the case. I really, really, really hope that's not the case. How much of this do you think faction quests will impact this? Faction quests. I don't know. I don't think by much. I just want quests, like commissions, repeatable quests shouldn't give like a shit ton of experience, right? That's kind of a no-brainer, right? But I'm talking about like the quests that you only can do one time for a tune. Like you should get, you know, like a pretty good amount of a glint, a pretty good amount of experience, and level. If a person wants to level questing wise, they should. There should be other tactics that kind of deem like, well, if you want to be more efficient with it, you can go to a POI and grind. And maybe that could be like the fastest way to level in Ashes. And I don't mind that. I don't, because sometimes I will have time to go to Highwayman Hills and grind for a couple of hours. But as a dad, as someone who, especially weekdays, I only have maybe 2 or 3 hours to play. I can't always rely off of group grinds in these things. I can't. Like, unless I'm orchestrating that on Discord offline, I'll have to be doing the slower methods of leveling. And I'm fine with that, because I'm not trying to like, oh, my methods like need to be the quickest and fastest. No, I don't give a shit. But I need methods. I need things for me to do in my offline or my time that I have to level. And it sucks that I feel like I have nothing worth my time to do, because yes, I can do commissions, but just relying off of commissions to level is a very shit way to level. Like, it's really bad. Even doing the regular one-time only quests is another really shit way to level. Like, outside of POI groups, I found the most efficient way to level is by processing. Go out and gather shit and process it. That to me is a really nice way to level in Ashes of Creation. And I like it, to be honest. I do. As someone who doesn't have a lot of time to play, I can always go and gather. As soon as I log into the game, I can go and gather. There's nothing I need to do other than just get on my mount and head to a tree and chop it, or head to a mine and mine it. And I like that. I really love how the reward structure there was really, really good too. I hope when they put in the talent trees, there's actually a trait, like a passive that increases your XP, limit, you know, the more you mine or something like that. I think that would be really, really nice. Let me see. I'm just wondering how much is missing from questing in general. Oh, well, I think quite a lot. I think Phantom X is right. The end of 2026, 2027 will be some kind of an early beta. Potentially. I mean, people have also been saying that this big announcement could actually be a Steam release to early access for Ashes of Creation. I don't know if I believe it. I think it's way too early for a Steam early access thing. In my mind, it's way too early. But I can also understand that they need to, if they're going to market, what better market than Steam? But I can guarantee you the reviews people will leave for Ashes of Creation ain't going to be pretty. Let's just say that right now. But those reviews can change. I mean, like, look at No Man's Sky. Great example. They had negative reviews for that game for the longest time. And now it's positive, right? So reviews aren't the end all be all, but it's definitely a barometer for players that aren't playing. If they see a negative review or like overwhelmingly negative, it's a pretty high chance that they might not buy it, right? I mean, what are the chances of a regular casual gamer going on Steam, looking at a game, seeing overwhelmingly negative, and then decide, maybe I should watch a YouTube video. Maybe I should do a little bit more research about this game. I'd say that's a pretty low percentage chance of a person doing that. I think it's more likely to be like, oh, like they heard about Ashes of Creation, they go to Steam, they find Ashes of Creation, it's overwhelmingly negative, and they're like, okay, well, what else is there? That I think is actually a very realistic thing that'll happen. And I think it's just a little early to create that illusion in people, because it's an illusion. Like, some games aren't bad. They're just doing it to spite the developers. Sometimes they're trying to like boycott the developers. I've seen many times, like especially with like Diablo or whatever, right? Vladis, some info. What's info? What's been going on? Did they say something else now? No? Okay. I just wanted to check real quick. If they launch on Steam, it will get panned, but early Steam launch may give them time for the platform to change people's minds. Maybe. I just think right now it's just not the time for Steam. I would love for them to do like if whenever beta happens, whether that's next year at the end or whether it's maybe in 2027, I would love when beta 1 starts, they coincide beta 1 with the Steam release. That to me would be a better marketing push than doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is the big difference. Let me see. Maybe they looked at how Pantheon did on Steam, which wasn't bad, but who knows? I can't really comment because I don't know how Pantheon did on Steam or not, but you know, I don't think there will be a wipe yet. It sounds to me like they need or want more people on PTR to test something key things. Yeah, I think that's exactly what they need, dude. It's funny how when you give people power, they don't know how to handle it. True. I mean, some people can't be leaders. Some people are egomaniacs, right? It's funny. I know a lot of guild leaders in Ashes. I know a lot of them. Some of them are really good dudes. Others, they knew they could not be an Indian, so became the chief. You know what I mean? But it kind of is what it is. Yeah, I made a video on why Amazon execs should have learned from Murray, the CEO of No Man's Sky. They should let New World cook longer. Dude, honestly, Amazon Game Studios, from an executive perspective, has always been mismanaged. The executives, they didn't even know what they were getting themselves into when they launched AGS. They didn't know. All they saw was dollar signs. That's literally all they saw. Oh, we're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Let's launch a game division. We have no idea how to make games and we have no idea what we're doing, but let's just do it anyway. Like, it was so mismanaged, dude. Like, the C-suite, the stockholders, the shareholders, all they were doing was just seeing dollar signs, because of course the game industry is a multi-billion, it's probably a multi-trillion-dollar global thing. It's huge. Like, games make more money than what, baby? Hey, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Give me 1 second. Here, let's go. All right. Sorry about that. My daughter just came in here. Uh, oh, cute kid. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She is. I love her to death. But yeah, no, you know, the gaming industry is a multi-trillion-dollar thing, right? You know, mobile gaming is even bigger. It's crazy how much money mobile gaming makes. And this is why you see a lot of the Korean MMOs go into the mobile market, right? So you have like, you know, oh, it's available on PC and on your mobile device, because dude, people spend a shit ton of money on mobile games, man. Like those gotcha mechanics and those, oh my God, Asmongold talks about them sometimes. The Black Touch or the Diablo 4 had him too, like the shadow things or whatever. It's like very deceit, like yeah, like it's a bunch of gambling mechanics. It's despicable, dude. Like it's dark patterns. Thank you. Coming in clutch, dark patterns. Yes. It's just a bunch of psychological shit that they've been doing for decades that, you know, they even start them young, like Roblox. Good example of like gambling mechanics. Like they're just, because if you can start a gambler young, they're going to grow up and be a gambler, you know, eventually, like if they grow up, right? I mean, gambling right now is at an all-time high. Like I just saw CoffeeZilla's newest video, bro. Insanity. The sports betting, crazy, freaking crazy. Thank God I don't do any of that stuff. It's tremendously more profitable to make a mobile game for cash instead of an MMO for players. Oh, dude, 100%. 100%. You know that mobile, it's like that mobile game that you see advertised all the time of like the little soldier with the gun, and it has like ×3 +2, and you go into it and it like, oh, it like 3x's your gun or 3x's your troops. Like if someone made that into an actual mobile game and not some diversion into some like Fortress game, that's $1 billion game right there. Easy. $1 billion game. MC, your mobile device would explode. The corruption within sports betting. Dude, yes. Dude, the video was so good. If you haven't watched CoffeeZilla's latest video on sports betting, dude, do yourself a favor and go watch that video. That was crazy. And even because I remember there was like NBA players that were indicted because of sports betting, because they were like, hey, I'm going to have a foot injury in the third quarter. Just letting you know now. So if you want to take advantage of anything, like that was wild. Like that was wild. I get 3 different ads for betting apps. Dude, yeah. The betting apps is just crazy. But anyway, back to Ashes. I wasn't really expecting to live stream today because I was going to live stream tomorrow after the live stream. But since the live stream isn't happening, my wife actually has a dinner that she's going to go to. So I'm going to stay here with the kids. So I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow. So this is kind of like my week stream right here. But honestly, like it's a little like, because I just want to know already, right? I think the kind of fatigue that I think I have and a lot of people have in the current Ashes community is just like, what are we doing? You know, like, can we get some information, you know? And I feel like I don't mind this, you know, but I just feel like the simple answers they could have said in Discord, I would have rather had that in Discord than this whole thing personally. Like I don't need to know about PTR testing. Like I kind of expected PTR testing was going to happen, but it's just, I don't understand how they can release this whole article, but can't answer very simple questions in Discord chat. Like super simple, like simple enough to where it's like you say the thing and that's it. Like I really don't get it. Steven had an interview where he briefly discussed a mobile game option, but he said if they did something, it would be basic to only let you have the ability to collect some mats, but he did not seem very inclined to do it then. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I think anything that's like super old, like, and what I mean by super old is like anything post or pre Alpha 1, I take it as like a historical document. Some things historically are accurate. Some things are kind of like exaggerated. Other things are complete fiction. That's kind of like how I treat, like, outside of like the unveil of Unreal Engine 5, anything prior to that, it's all historical document to me. Their communication just got super, has just gone super dodgy. Yeah, it's just been, it's not even to me super dodgy. It's just non-existent. Like literally non-existent. Like even when I ask like Roshan or Vaknar, like they don't say anything. Like, no, we're not having a PTR update today. Okay, like why? Like, I mean, is it just not ready? Is there issues? Are there problems? Like, what's going on? Like, it's just, I feel like it's just ever since phase 3 happened, it just, I feel like the level of communication has just decreased completely. And I really just don't know why. Because like I said, even in phase 1, we had better communication, but people can argue, well, we were only playing on the weekends. I get that, but we were still in Discord every day getting information, you know, and we were even getting information prior to Alpha 1's or Alpha 2's release. And they were crunching the month of October, right? So month of October and the month of September, because remember, we were going to have Alpha 2 in Q3, if people remember. We had a whole trailer, remember, a little teaser sizzle reel. I don't know if people remember that, but, and I called it. I said, I don't know if it's going to happen Q4. And one of my buddies in Guild called it way before everyone else. I think a year before he said it ain't going to be Q3, it's going to be Q4. Like he knew. He saw the writing on the wall. There he is. There's my boy. The Elmo memes with the fire going. Absolutely grumpy. We see lower communication usually means that the only things they have to say will be disappointing, so they won't say them. But to me, it's like, yes, some things are disappointing. Like, hey, we're having issues with this patch. That's why we haven't re-released it. Or there's like a back-end issue with it that we want to fix before we release testing again. I get that. But not to me, not saying anything creates a bigger hole of despair, and just it creates people to spiral, and it also creates speculation to go literally off the walls. Because that's literally what's been happening the past couple of weeks. The speculation and the amount of negativity and cope in the Discord lately has been wow. Like, to say the least. Just wow. Yeah, give us transparency versus ghosting. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And again, we're like the hardcore community, right? Like, if you can't tell us, then like, who can you tell? Like at this point, you know what I mean? Like, can you blame the community? Well, that's what I mean, right? Like, I understand why the community is spiraling, because Intrepid isn't saying anything. And then on top of not saying anything, we get a delay and another delay. And another delay. It's like we're just like almost like WTFing in our heads. Like, you know, and I think the other thing that doesn't really give, it's not a connection at all, but AGS, like basically shutting down, like New World shutting down, that in combination with all of the non-existent things in Ashes right now, I think got to people. So people are wanting like almost like a reassurance from Intrepid, and we're not even getting that. It's like we just had AGS basically shut down, and then you guys over here just being, we can't say anything until the live stream. Don't say anything. It's just like, what's going on? Like, why are we doing this? Let me see, we're $100 and we want to see this as sex. They're just nothing good to talk about. No, that's what I mean. Like, dude, and I feel bad, dude. If there's one group in the Ashes community I feel the most bad for, it's literally the phase 3 key holders. Murloc Gaming, dude, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Because they paid, you know, the $100. Some came in with like bustling and like, you know, these kind of bright-eyed expectations, or just like, you know, this hopefulness. And it's like, if you were, you know, in phase 1 or phase 2, like we had a different Intrepid compared to like the Intrepid we have now. And it just sucks. It really sucks. Like I really wanted, because I feel like if we would just delayed phase 3, like we would be in a way better state right now if phase 3 wasn't officially launched yet. Like we would be in a way better state than what we currently are. Do I get points for messages? I believe so. You get points for messaging and interacting with the stream and stuff like that. And I think just by being on the stream, you just accumulate points over time by just staying on the stream longer. I couldn't find a single chicken emote. Dude, you know what? I'm going to find one. I will find one. I will find a chicken emote and I will find an egg. Chicken and the egg. Just for you, Grumpy. Let me see. None of the systems I want are in, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that. My big MMO used to be Arcade, so I get where Steven was coming from. But I want my housing and farming. Well, and that's what also sucks too with the freeholds, because the freeholds were online in phase 2, and then they became offline. You know, Steven, I remember saying in a live stream that there's just some background architecture that they're working with, and that's affecting the freeholds. So they just decided to take out the freeholds entirely. But let's just be honest, the freehold system wasn't really anything to brag about either. Like, there wasn't much to do in the freehold even when it was live. So I would rather get the freehold back when we can actually have what we saw from the freehold live stream like years ago. I think that'd be freaking amazing. Yeah, they were horrible. Yeah, no, I know. Will GTA 6 come out before Ashes? Yes. I am pretty confident that GTA 6 will come out before Ashes. Let me see. I can see dynamic gridding affecting freeholds. Well, that's what I mean too, right? Like, I think them really trying to push the dynamic gridding part of things is something that they want to flesh out before they bring back freeholds. And to be honest with you, I think dynamic gridding is if I had the priority list in my head, I would say dynamic gridding should be priority number 1 and freehold should be priority number 2. Like, if those are the only two options, right? Like, dynamic gridding just, I would think, serves way more of a purpose and would be way better for performance and just issues in general. But I'm more curious because dynamic gridding wasn't online at all in phase 2 and phase 1, especially in phase 2. And we had such great, like, I'm telling you, like, you can go watch my live streams. You can watch a lot of people's live streams of Ashes in phase 2. I didn't have any issues. But as soon as they put in like dynamic gridding, even when it's not automatic, I think they said it's set to manual. We just have been having so many performance issues. It's so wild. It feels like we went backwards, P3. I want to be positive, but I heard we do have any hope or we are doomed. No, there's hope, dude. I just think right now we're just in a kind of so there's always ebbs and flows, right? There's hills and there's valleys. And I think currently we're just in the valley right now. But I don't think we needed to be. I truly, I mean, and again, like, I made a Reddit post. I shared with this on my live stream before. I pleaded to Steven. I pleaded to the team to delay phase 3, but they said that it would affect their milestone, which, you know, Steven was mentioning, you know, November, you know, for Harbingers. And this was back, I think, in July, when they first alluded to it. But I'm thinking now, it's like, well, why couldn't you just push phase 3 to Harbingers? What would have been the difference in my mind, right? Like, because to me, if we're testing, you know, Renkai, this archetype stuff, settlement improvements, this summoner, whatever, dynamic gridding, this to me feels more like an actual start of phase 3 than what phase 3 actually was. So why couldn't we just start it here? I would have rather have been in the phase 2.5 still and just been tested in PTR from this whole point. I think that just would have posed way better morale in the community. I agree with you. Dynamic gridding is cool, but not the hype it's needed in the game. But players aren't going to come back for that. They need more depth in these systems. I do agree. They need more depth, but in order to have that depth, you need to have performant servers. So that's why I think dynamic gridding is very important, because I can guarantee you, if you had all this depth in these other systems, but you were getting disconnected, your game was crashing, you're lagging, you're stuttering, it don't matter how much depth in those systems, you're going to have a shitty time playing. right? So to me, performance and server stability far exceeds content, because you can have all the content in the world. If your server performance sucks, it don't matter. You're going to be very frustrated and you're just going to quit. So that's kind of my thing with that. And every time something new is added to the game, expect many things to move backwards until the problems are fixed. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's what I mean too. It's like, you know, people are expecting this Harbingers update and thinking every time a major system has been added to Ashes, we have so many other systems that get affected in these ways we've never had them. We've had them affected before. And then we have to start leaving bug reports on like, oh, the treasure map system is broken, you know, or my class can't do this ability now, or these mobs are borked for some reason. Like there's just these weird things that start to occur, like when a major system is added. And I think people are just hyping up the Harbingers a bit so much that I think people are going to really get slapped back down to reality in a very hardcore way. Because they had to literally, if you tested the PTR update recently, there were remnants of the Harbingers effects, like in the sky and stuff like that. And people's FPS was going from like 120 down to like 17, 5. Some, as soon as they got close to it, would just shut down. Like the computer would literally just shut down. And they would have to start back up. And then they couldn't start back up because their character was inside of it, and they couldn't even log into the realm. They had to make another character. So it's wild. You know what I mean? So there's so much performance things they got to fix with this event that, you know, yes, I'm excited for it, but I mean, again, like performance is king, dude. Like you need to have like servers working efficiently, and we just really haven't had that. Let me see. Are they adding archetypes this patch? No. We're not going to get archetypes probably till next year. So if you're looking forward to like augments and stuff like that, ain't gonna happen anytime soon. You rubber band for like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I know. It's the PTR just wasn't good. I literally, as a summoner, stayed in Coral Lock. I was just there. I didn't move from that spot. I just stayed there because I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna mess up my summoner stuff. But yeah, that's basically the news, guys. I really don't have too much to say on top of that. I mean, it's just been, in my opinion, just very unfortunate. And I really pray for Intrepid, you know. I'm gonna come. I've been really trying to, like, you know, keep the faith, and, you know, I know it has to be hard on them, but I just pray for their sanity and for them to just keep their heads down, keep working, you know, keep fixing the bugs, keep fixing the dupes, and staying positive. I think sometimes devs, you know, they kind of see, you know, the Discord, or they'll see Reddit, or they'll see like memes, or, you know, whatever, and they get very discouraged, you know, because they work hard on a given system, and then another system's affecting that system, and they're like, man, like, if it only worked the way it was working on my system, you know, when I was developing it, right? You know, it's sometimes in a closed and isolated environment, a system works fine, works perfectly. And you go launch it a PTR, and then it's like, oh, wow, this system's borked because this other system's affecting it completely. And if we shut down another system, then it can work, but it's like, we can't do that. So clearly there's something wrong with the system. So yeah, I kind of just wish them the best, man, because I know it has to be hard, especially around the holidays, right? We have like Halloween, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas coming up. So, you know, quarter 4 is always, I think, a very challenging quarter for any company. And I think for a day, you know, kind of remembering last year where we were at from phase 1, because we were literally knee deep in phase 1, you know, early November. Because what was it, last week of October of last year is when we started Alpha 2. Yeah, server and community last Christmas was rough. Yeah, it was. So you know, it happens every year. It's always a challenging time. and I really wish Steven and the team the best. I want them to keep working, but if I can just be candid, y'all need to start speaking in the Discord more, man. Like, because I know Roshan and Vactor have to be in these meetings with Steven and Margaret. You know what I mean? Like, at least listening to like what's going on or certain issues or certain things that are occurring. And I think, you owe it to the audience that has been here, to just have a little explanation. It doesn't have to be this big, long thing. You don't have to create a whole post, but I mean, just, hey, we're just having some issues in our 0.17 patch that we didn't expect. That's what we're trying to fix. And we're hopefully going to launch 0.17 soon. It's very simple. Super simple. I think, again, the more and the longer you just keep ignoring, the more the community is just going to feel more and more isolated, right? I talk about how we have 0 mob drops. I'm like a crafter in most games, but I want to be able to farm mobs. Yeah, right now, like gear drops are, in a rough spot. There's a lot of adjustments that need to be needed to mob drop tables entirely, just across the board. When it comes to like glint, resources, mob specific drops, just the whole thing. I can't imagine trying to develop a game like this with their vision without AAA money and people. Well, they have AAA people. No, they don't have AAA money. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would say at this point, Steve has probably spent over $70 to $80 million funding Ashes of Creation. But this is definitely a project that's going to far exceed that. I think we're definitely going to go into the triple digits. Once Ashes of Creation is finished, this game probably will cost in the lower echelon of probably anywhere between $100 million to $130 million. Like, easy. Especially if we stay in for the next 2 to 3 years. Like, just for them to maintain their studios, roughly another 70 million a year. Like, that's just for like their developers, salaries, rent, electricity, gear, just everything. But and that's kind of a lowballing estimation as well, because also they work out in California. But it kind of is what it is. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off soon because I need to help my wife with bedtime routine and stuff like that. But very unfortunate that I had to go live and do this video, and we just gotta wait a little bit longer, guys. Go play some New World, go play some WoW, go play some Final Fantasy 14 or whatever your favorite MMO is, because Ashes does need to cook a little bit longer. So let's see who is currently streaming right now. Let me see. We have, of course, Dusty. We got, I wonder if that one guy, there was this person that Pockets was telling me about. Oh, Pockets is streaming. All right. Well, let's go raid Pockets. I'm sure he's talking about all that stuff too. Guys, you guys have a great night. Have a great week. Have a safe weekend. And I should have, I'm working on a video right now, but I don't know if it's going to be released this week. It's been delayed. You guys are used to that, right? You guys are used to that. So, yeah, hopefully it'll be released maybe this weekend. We'll see. But, you have a good one, guys.